Hi, good evening.
Good
It's
evening, good
Wednesday
evening.
night.
Welcome to our Facebook Live.
I think it's like I have skipped quite a number of Wednesday nights.
I think you have.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we're back. And
Yes.
today I am hopping on board Jesse's so-called regular Wednesday slot. It's not only me, in case you are
Yep,
tuning
we're
in
on
right
live. Yes.
now. We're also welcoming Coco.
Yeah, she insists okay, to be part of this, and it's like it's so like difficult for us to chase her away. So yeah, so
Yes.
today we have Coco.
Yes, maybe she can help answer some questions.
It's a clash here for her, so better
Oh,
not.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, so are you going to share first, or let me share first? Let me share
Yeah,
first.
go ahead. Yes.
Okay, you continue talking.
So today,
Okay.
we decided, because we've been sharing little bits of information here and there, and also because we've just wrapped up the super crazy beginning of not only 2024, but period 9, right? Especially for February, a very happening, very high energy month. And now, of course, the Rabbit month itself brings with it very different energies. We're thinking what to share and everything. And we thought that as a summary for, like you can say, the big entrance into period 9, of course, the starting period 9 with the Wood Dragon year. So we will actually have a round of Q&As, right? So if you already have a question that you were wanting to ask, right? So do type it in the comment section so that we can grab it. We can get to it in the earlier part of the show, lah.
Yeah. Okay, so your turn to share.
Right.
So for me to watch out, as in like anyone, okay, tuning in live right now, if you're watching this Facebook Live Q&A special, please do drop a note at the comments. Do let us know if you can hear us clearly, and if you can also, in a way, see us clearly. I mean, there's, obviously this is fake, right? Okay, green screen and all that. But I think Nicole did a pretty good job. I kind of like the background, okay? I really love the background. And I requested for a red sofa, period 9 ma, okay? Period 9, red sofa. You know, I've always inspired to do that Will Smith, the wife, she always do this program. I'm not sure whether she still do it.
What's it
Red
called?
Table
The
or something.
Red Table Talk or
yeah,
something.
some Red Table Talk.
Yeah.
I've always inspired to do a Facebook Live sharing in that concept. And then, of course, recently I was invited, okay, and to my honor is like to be the first guest on Light FM, okay, for Fat Fapes, okay, a special Friday renditions of what they call a red room, right? So that's why, okay, it in a way inspires me to come up with this red sofa thing. Period 9. So far, John Vega is there.
Right.
Okay, hi John Vega. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, John.
Do let us know if you can hear us clearly and you can see us clearly as well. All right. I mean, tonight is just very, very special. Because in the sense of like, I keep looking at the camera here, right? Okay, and I can see my mom sit right behind the camera, keep looking at me. She have no clue what I'm talking about. But probably she understands the word mom. Mom.
Okay.
Mom.
Okay, Shirley Cheong here, looks good and very clear. I assume you are in the States, Shirley.
Hi.
Thanks for the feedback.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So Poching is here as well. All right, tuning in as well. So tonight's session is Q&A. Of course, in order for us to answer your questions, we need some questions.
That's
all
right.
right.
Yep.
So those of you, if you have any questions regarding feng shui, right, regarding like 八字, okay, regarding like the animal signs of the year, the relationships of the animal sign of this year itself, okay, right, in relations to the Grand Duke, which is the dragon, all right, do ask away. If you have questions about the I Ching, probably monthly hexagram, or you have questions about date selection, please do ask away, right? Anything as long as it is in no way improving, all right, your skills and understandings into metaphysics, but it's not really like a full personal consult.
Yeah, right. So try to, of course, help us out by not asking too personalized
I mean,
charts.
in a way, it's like just don't give us your date of birth and time of birth. It's like, nah, okay? Right, that's not really asking for questions, okay? So ask for specific questions.
Yes.
It's like what are the stars that you have, okay, right, in your chart and stuff like that, okay? And Angel Tan is there, Leanne, all right? Leanne is tuning in together with your like and share. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Leanne.
Leanne.
Right, she actually reminded us instead, okay? Please do like and share this Facebook live out so that it can reach out to more people, all right?
Yes, we also have Alexis Wong here, Georgiana from Romania, says, hello, love the change, red. Red instead of white all the time, is it?
Yeah.
Hi,
Okay.
Xiang Ling.
Vicky Lim here says
right.
that it's loud and clear as well.
Julian is also here, Teresa as well. Okay, well, Alexis has a question.
Yeah.
So first
okay,
one
great.
to
so
us.
you're tuning into your
Yes.
your Facebook, right? Yeah, we
Right.
have to tap in because it's like concurrently in a way stream, all right, live to Kong Yu's, okay, official page and also my official page. Speaking of which,
Yes.
before going to that question, all right, I really have this nudge, okay, to really try out a not Facebook live stream, okay, a YouTube live stream instead. All right, trying something different, okay, right, testing out, okay, how else can we actually reach out, all right, to probably some new group of people, all right, so I'm still looking for the time to stream that live, all right, I've already, in a way, it's like requested, okay, the approval for live streaming via YouTube itself. So probably by that time, really need all your support, all your help, Leanne, Angel, okay, right, all the regulars here, John Vega and all that, okay, right, Mr. Lim, who is currently still in Japan, all right, how many more like temples, okay, you have left to visit? Right, he's currently doing this very beautiful and meaningful pilgrimage, okay, where he walks 88 temples in Japan itself. It's like so amazing, and he's doing with his lovely Serene. All right, so have yet to see all the updates. Okay, I occasionally see updates here and there. Okay, so Grace Nelson also tuning in, I suppose, from Bangkok. Okay,
Grace.
happy Wednesday to Jessie and Gong Yu.
Yep.
Katie Gore as well. Okay, she's there as well. All right. Go back to that first question.
First question, Alexis, right? Is for Dog Clash with Dragon can also be a promotion?
It is possible, okay, it is possible to be a promotion, all right, especially if that clash is favorable for you, all right? So remember, now a clash itself is not as scary as like how normally people will see it, especially for clashes of earth. Because earth, what we call is like chongfu. Chongfu means it's like a clash to the storage, okay? And at the same time, it's also known as a graveyard. Now, those of you attended our Parts of Mastery, okay, before, you know that every clashes itself, right, okay, they are, in a way, subsector of all the clashes. Example, on the title, it's called clash, but the subsector itself, it can go up to 8 different types of clash. And for graveyards or the storage itself, right, which is part of the dragon and dog clash, okay, it is supposed to help us to release whatever that is stored within this earth. So, whatever that you have within the dragon and the dog, dragon is also known as a water storage, and the dog is also known as a fire storage, okay? So in general, especially those of you, right, if you have a dragon and a dog, and fire is your favorable element, okay? It is something that you love, or it is your useful god. So if you have a dog in your chart and this year the dragon year comes into clash it will be a good thing for you. Why I specifically focus on fire? Because this year is a dragon, wood dragon. So wood supports, okay, the growth of fire. It is the, in a way, resource for that fire element. So when this clash itself, it is going to help, okay, to release that storage of fire, that seed of fire. And if you love fire, it is going to be a great year for you. Example, if fire is your influence star, example is a direct officer or your 7 killings. Or fire is your wealth star, is your indirect wealth or your direct wealth. It means that that clash comes in. This year, you have a heightened energy of getting that promotion going on, right? Especially this month itself, okay? Because this month is the rabbit month. And rabbit and the dog, which is originally in your chart, I suppose, okay, combines to produce fire, right? And this is a Ting Mao month. All right, Ting Mao means that you see, in a way, the fire appearing on the top.
Yep.
Am I going to deep? I guess they are.
No,
Right?
I think it's a good sign for Alexis, and also,
Yeah.
and also generally also that's the more technical explanation of the graveyard type of clashes, right? And the details are there for everyone, and of course to Alexis, and also another way I see it, just to complete the answer as well, or to add another perspective to it, is that there is also, of course, the journey of the animal signs as they unfold, right? As they meet other animal signs of Tai Soi, right? So, for example, last year was the year of the rabbit, and this year is the year of the dragon. And then we see certain things happening within the interactions, moving from one type of interaction from one year to the next, right? So, and then for people with the dog, there is that element of transformation, right? Particularly that was present. So that can clue you into whether the chances of promotion is going to happen or not, right? So if you've undergone a transformative process, right, regarding the chi of the dog and the dragon, which is the earth mainly. For last year, of course, it would be a combination there with the rabbit. So there is a higher chance for this to come true.
Yeah.
Right. So that if you have already done some preparatory work, for example, some things have massively changed for a positive way or in a good way, then you see that the signs are there, right, for this clash to come out in a way that is favorable to you.
Yeah. Okay. And I in a way, it's like I really love Q&A like this. Okay, because it's like to us. Right, I mean, to me especially, I'm sure it goes the same as Kong Yu, right? He has the same vision, okay, and he does the same thing as I do. All right, we truly believe, as in, like, in a way, sharing, especially the technical part, so that we all can learn and grow together. All right, so for us, it's like, when you ask us certain questions, we will do our best. Probably there are some questions that I don't have the answer. I don't have answers to all questions, okay? But we'll do our best to answer you, okay? Both from the metaphysical point of view and also on its technical way, so that everyone can learn and grow together.
That's right.
All right?
Yeah.
So, but before that, okay, it will really, really be a great help, okay? If you can help us to share this particular Facebook live feed out, okay? On your Facebook, help us to, in a way, share this so that you can reach out to more people, because we are doing, okay, a lot of ways, right? Minimal on sponsored posts, okay, because seriously, I know, okay, a lot of people thought like marketing needs to actually give a big chunk, okay, to, like, of course, Facebook and other platforms. If they hear this, it's like, will they adjust their algorithm and try to, in a way, prevent us from reaching out more? You think so?
No.
I don't think so,
Hopefully
right?
they're not listening so closely.
Yeah.
But
In a way, it's like for us, okay, to keep our prices at affordable prices, okay, comparatively to, of course, right, some of the market, okay, out there itself, okay, we need to do our ways, okay, whatever ways possible to reach out to more people more organically, because this is a business after all, okay. So we hope that all of you, okay, if you find that our sharings, okay, our contents that we are sharing with you and all that is something that is helpful, all right, and it's meaningful, especially if you are enthusiast into, like, metaphysics and all that, please do help us do this favor, help us to share this Facebook Live out so that it can reach out to more people. All right.
Yep.
So just now, I think I saw Perry Max, okay, ask the questions regarding his, in a way, luck, okay, in a 2024, okay, and he's a horse. So I assume that he's actually asking for the animal sign of the horse, okay. So I have here, okay, looking into this year itself, the animal sign of the horse itself, in a way, for this year, ranked 10 out of 12, all right. Just looking at this animal sign itself, right, it's not really the best. Means that, doesn't mean it's bad all the time. It just means that there might be more lessons, more tests that might come your way. But always remember, in our own entire parts of the chart, there are at least 4 animal signs, okay? Right, despite only the year, we have the month, the day, and also the hour, okay? If you want to understand more about this, then probably you have to revisit some of the previous sharings I did end of last year regarding the 12 animal sign of 2024. So let's take a look here. The horse this year, you have the auspicious stars of Sky Relief and Relief God, Tin Gai and Gai San. So basically, you know that whenever you have these 2 stars, both are also Relief God star. It appears in your chart itself, right? They are pretty much a lesson for us, okay, to learn in the sense of letting go, releasing something, ending, closure, right? So we have to see in what aspect. Do you need water? Yeah, okay. So see, behind the scene helper needs to be singing a bit, right?
it's just there, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Thank you.
in a way, overall, right, okay, you have this relief stars going on. It means that this year, the tests, the lessons that come to us in our life itself, right, this year, is to help us to learn the lesson of letting go, closure, ending of something, releasing of something, okay? So that's the purpose of it. So be prepared, okay? In different aspects of your life, it can be relationship, it can be career, it can be investments, it can be business related, all right? So it could be also in the sense of, in fact, even life and death situation, right? Okay? Because if you go to the highest level, okay, of the mastery of destiny itself, it is spirituality, right? And it comes to that level of energy itself, right? Letting go in terms of loved ones is also a test, okay? A test of attachment. So by having the relief, okay, stars itself, that could be one of the lessons as well. And then looking at the inauspicious star, you have calamity, shark, okay, instability star, blood knife, a funeral door, flying chase, separating age, and also red jumbo. Just to name a few example, okay, instability star here, okay, and calamity stars represent something which is more unstable, emotionally especially. Right, so you will foresee that this year itself, right, the possibilities of like things will happen in your life itself, okay, on this particular year itself that challenge you, that triggers you emotionally, okay, that you might find yourself is like fluctuations of emotion. You might find that you are trying to calm yourself so much, you're trying to be at peace as much as possible, and the next thing is someone, right, just triggers you out of that peaceful manner, okay? So all this is supposed to, in a way, teach us the lesson of letting go, remember, all right? Is it something that we hold on or we attach to so much, okay, that we are suffering, okay, in a way as a result of that holding on to things which no longer serve us.
Yeah.
So you can, in a way, consider thinking about that as well,
Yeah.
okay?
So that's very important in general. I think it's a good point also to, because you're here with us and we like to give you the information not just in a way bits and pieces, but overall at a deepest understanding you can, right? So that's why normally when we look into the whole picture of the, for example, the stars, right? Totality of the stars is visiting an animal sign, right? And then of course the actual animal sign interactions, right? For example, with the year, right? That's another layer to things, right? So when you put it all together, generally it will give you a very clear picture. So that's why it is very important to work with that energy. Now, of course, that energy is not perfectly set in stone. It really depends on our actions and decisions, every single one of them, up to that moment where we are expecting an interpretation. So, for example, leading up to 2024, right? Or even within 2024, or leading up to a particular month, then you get a likely outcome there, right? So everything is changeable up to that moment, but everything is also a function of all the energy that has been exuded, right? From yourself, from day one up to that particular point in time.
Yeah.
So that's why while the actual outcome is to be determined, but overall the energy pattern is there. So we put all the pieces together, we see what that points to, what that energy means. It could be an energy of transformation, it could be of growth, it could be of major change, it could be of opportunities coming in, right? And so on and so forth. But it's important that it paints a certain picture, and the best way to work with it is to work with this overall structure of the energy, right? If not, then it's you're going against the flow, and it's tougher, right? Things don't go as smoothly, or things are not maximized.
Yeah.
Right?
So always remember, okay, as Kong Yu has said it, okay, in every year itself, right, there's really no such thing as good or bad, all right? It's just that the things, the stars, okay, whether it is so-called auspicious or inauspicious, or you can say it's like positive or negative, okay, it's technically just there to guide us, to teach us certain lessons in life.
And yet, and of course, it's all again a mixture. Right, and sometimes it's mixed towards more feel-good stars. Sometimes it's a balance of both, and sometimes it feels unpleasant or uncomfortable. But it doesn't mean it's bad or good.
Yeah. Okay. So whatever that makes us feel unpleasant, so-called in a way, quote unquote, bad. Okay, it's just a wake-up call, okay? It's just something to let us know that something is not right here, something is out of the way, something is out of alignment. So we just need to learn whatever that something is. What is a lesson at the end of the day? All right, so Mr. Lim, Serious Bright here, say we still have 51 more temples to go. 加油. Okay, right? It's like,
my
加
first
油.
thought is 加油. You can do it.
All right, now Vicky Lim says, I have dragon and ox in my chart. What will be the effect on me when dragon month comes in, which is next month?
Okay, this is also something that Sal Chu mentioned.
All right.
So it's good, we can
why don't
address
you,
both.
you address to it first,
Right, okay. So
I
it's
just
Sal
go through.
and
Vicky
Lim, right?
Yeah.
So a destruction is like a smaller version, you can say, simplified lah, right? A smaller version of a clash, right? So obviously there'll be a bit of a destruction there and a possible rebuilding. So some changes there, but generally it's not as major, you can say, or not as big as a clash per se, but still it usually involves a change. So the way I always interpret a destruction between the dragon and the ox is that, again, it's got to do with the sense of growth, right? Because both have to do with the earth element, but one has more of a flavor, like you can say, right, of metal and water. That's the ox, right? And then the other one is water and wood, which is basically the dragon. So usually this transition between then ending, because an ox is more of like a ending animal sign, right? It's the last, it's the last of the winter season, right? So it ends a particular year, right? Then after that we have the starting of spring, which is denoted by the tiger, right? And then we have the end of spring, which is of the dragon. So it's usually, to me, a question of readiness in terms of embracing change, right? And so on and so forth. So when it is uncomfortable, when it's not fully mastered, then you have the issue, of course, of displacement, right? Or being forced to change, or there's no choice but to have a little bit of a shake-up there. But if it's something that is one is ready for, in this case Sal and Vicky, right? If you're ready for it, you've been anticipating it, you've been preparing for it, you've been working towards it, then it is a good time to make that smaller change that's usually more on a minor scale. But again, it's not set in stone, right? Just because I'm saying that it is a smaller version of a clash, it doesn't necessarily have to be so, yeah? But it again has this flavor of whether you are ready to move on to something after a certain time, certain significant period of doing the same thing, and now you're ready to let go and do something else for the sake of becoming better, for the sake of personal growth overall. So then this denotes that possibility for that change.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, just now I saw there is a question, okay, from Leanne.
Okay.
Right. Leanne says, Jessie, can you explain the March hexagram? Gen over 对.
Okay.
So it is a 山窄, okay, 旋, okay, is a decreasing or a loss hexagram, right? So overall, okay, now you see, just imagine that this hexagram itself, you have a mountain on top, okay, of a marsh, okay? A marsh is a 对卦, is like, you know, like paya, is it? You call it paya what? Paya bakau like that.
Marsh,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, marsh, okay? So in a way, this is soft earth, okay? It is muddy, okay? It's soft and it's very unstable, okay? Right? Easily, in a way that it will sink in. So overall, if you have a mountain on top, okay, and a marsh at the bottom itself, right? Generally, you see that this mountain have to start to be aware, okay? Right? Imagine that you have a structure where it is so big and steady on top. But imagine that you have a rotten root, okay, or rotten pillars underneath it, okay? So from the root itself, things will slowly, in a way, like eroding, all right? It will be slowly, in a way, like, sinking down. So it is, that month itself is a reminder to remind us that there could be danger, okay, right? Or that particular month in March itself, it can lead to a certain danger that will lead up to a certain loss, okay, or some energy that is decreasing, okay? Imagine that the structure cannot hold for long if you realize that your pillars are not holding on. If you realize that your pillars are cracked, or the soil that your pillars are in a way, like, standing on, okay, is actually in a way like eroding away. All right, so therefore it's like it's a good month for us to remind ourselves, okay, what is the root of things? All right, where's the root? Where's the foundation? All right, it can be a career, it can be a business, okay? Where is that rooting of your career? All right, where is the rooting? Right, it means that you have to ask, let's say for instance, a career, your passion, your love for your career, all right? Where is that rooting? Do you really love it? Or are you in a way like just trying to pass time, okay, every day, okay? Hopefully that in a way things just gets like, within control, okay, and you get your pay, that's it. All right, if that sort of like mentality, of that sort of the fundamental, okay, of our fundamental of our purpose, okay, of working at a job or whatsoever in a career, okay, you are seeing a red flag here, okay, especially in this month, right, when this particular, hexagram comes in. Or it can be a business, or it can be a relationship, a family even, all right? It should be based on the foundations that is solid, that's filled with trust, that's filled with love, example, okay, in terms of relationship. But let's say if you find that your relationship has never been, in a way, built on trust, or love to start off with, okay, or security to start off with, then the chances is this relationship, okay, will come to a point that it will crumble and fall. All right, so that will be something, okay, that we might want to, in a way, look into as well. And the same thing when it comes to business, okay? So what is it that you're building on your business? What is it set upon? What drives you to start this business in the first place? Right, is it on a solid, in a way, foundation? or it is something on a very mushy, like marshmallow sort of like foundation. You're unsure. You're not sure why you even started the business in the first place. It's just because of some external influence, probably, right? Some rush into just starting something just because you have some savings with you, right? But over time, you find that, okay, after this particular month itself, it might triggers your chart, okay, in a way that you have to learn that lesson, all right? It means that whatever that we build upon is not solid. Okay, it's not the truth, it's not out of love, it's not solid, it's not stable, it's not secure. And then this particular month itself has a chance, okay, to trigger that lesson. Then how much, okay, are you triggered? Because generally, everyone will go through the month of decreasing of loss this year. Okay? I mean, this month, right? But the thing is, it depends on our party chart, okay? So if our chart this month itself, okay, is going through something as a favorable element enhanced in our chart, then it wouldn't be so bad. Comparatively to some people, example, this month, okay, of the rabbit month, you are going through, okay, probably some clashes, some destruction or some harm that's going on, okay, right, for you this particular month itself, then the chances is, and it's unfavorable, then this particular lesson itself will be a much, I would say, uncomfortable lesson for you to learn.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
And overall, of course, this also overlaps. Of course, the hexagram is a standalone, right, for the month itself. But when you see it in the Bazi terms, in the astrology terms, then you know it's a harm, right? We spoke about that already. It's in my monthly forecast. We also touched upon it in our moon forecast recently. So there is that depth to that meaning as well. It's supposed to trigger, right? Again, a deeper look, right, into what needs to change, now, right? And whatever it is, because Sal Chu has a follow-up question, is the destruction painful and so on, right? Whatever it is, we just have to acknowledge the fact of what happens, okay, and reverse engineer it in the truest, purest sense of how much we have worked, right, before to learn those lessons that are implicated in the clash or destruction and so on. Because if we have not, then of course it's going to feel more painful overall, right? If we have, then we know and we're anticipating it. So the best way is that we are proactive about making those changes. Whatever it is as well, it's something, here's something that I always have to remind myself. Whatever growth that you want to go on to and whatever changes you want to make, they are never pleasant and comfortable. They're just a mentality and a training, right? Right, that you have to undergo to move with these changes, or even at its best, to be proactive in making the change yourself. But whatever it is, once it's done, it is never a pleasant or happy or comfortable process. Now, of course, we could be joyful about it, right? That's the ultimate goal of learning all of this information. But every change, every process of growth, it's uncomfortable, right? So get used to that, accept it, and when you work with it, that's when you can maximize the energy of the whatever else that is in that animal sign and whatever stars, for example. Like, for example, a destruction of a dragon and ox, just to wrap it up, right? The ox is the one that's getting destructed. Okay, they both Allah, but it's the dragon affecting the ox. And the ox itself contains a whole host of auspicious stars for the year, right? Including the fortune, virtue, and so on and so forth. So if you are playing the game right, if you're ready to embrace the change, be uncomfortable, then the stars also tell us that the change comes with the blessings of these auspicious stars.
Yes. Right. So in other words, okay, whatever it is, okay, that makes us in pain or uncomfortable, right, it's just merely like certain lessons that we have to learn, okay, right? The more we run away from those lessons, the more we, in a way, like hiding ourselves from learning those lessons instead of breaking through them, right, the more painful, okay, right, emotionally or mentally, right, the situations will be. Right, at the end of the day. All right, so here it says that Swendra Eileen, all right, may I know the favorable intelligence direction, okay, for a dragon so that it's easier to absorb the informations he reads, example, okay. Now for this one, in a way, okay, you can consider looking into your Manchang, okay. Manchang saying is like the intelligence star, okay. So overall, you just have, like, instead of looking for the dragon, okay, look for the intelligence star for the person, okay, the day master, okay, look for it, whatever day master, okay, the person is, where is the intelligence star's direction. Now, you can, in a way, of course, the location is always more important than direction. Hopefully the house location is favorable, okay? The house particular location itself is full of like Seng Qi or Growth Qi, okay? Rather than a lot of Sa Qi or the energy is very congested, okay? The energy is very suppressed, okay, in the house itself. Example, if the house has a lot of pillars, okay, very low ceiling, okay, and externally probably there's a lot of like noise Sa Qi, okay, it means that whatever sector you sit in the house also is not going to help that much, okay, and that is the point where you practice dynamic feng shui. So instead of staying in the house, okay, to tap into the direction, might as well you go into a place, okay, where it has it all, okay, all the good stuff in that particular location, identify it, and then tap into your personal intelligence star. Okay, so intelligence star is different, okay, from for everyday master itself. Okay, so you can just search Google online, whatever day master, okay, you are, and then search for its intelligence star. Right, and then see whatever direction that is, look into the 24 mountains itself, okay, of the feng shui template, and then see what is that direction, and you can see it backing that direction, because you have to back your intelligence star in order for you to receive, okay, the support of that star itself. All right.
Handy little tip there, right? And,
yeah.
And all of information is available nowadays when you Google search. So
yes.
look for,
okay.
look for yours according to your day master.
Yeah, because all these things is according to your day master, just look for your intelligence star, and then of course, like superimpose this into your 24 mountains to find the direction of your intelligence star. Example, if you are like Kuei Water with the rabbit as an intelligence star as example, okay, then you can also in a way is like look into East 2, okay, which is the direction of your intelligence star, example, okay, and back it. So Lian says, so we should evaluate our foundation and provide support where there is weakness. Okay, does it involve sacrificing something that don't serve us anymore? Okay, if it's possible, okay, I suggest that you, I suppose that you're relating to the decreasing or the last hexagram for this particular month. Then yes, okay, because you see, being able to embrace loss is also a lesson. Right, it's a lesson of attachments, okay? Right, how attached we are to certain things, right? So everything is temporarily, okay? Even our physical body. So the moment we learn this lesson itself, okay, the easier for us to, in a way, embrace these lessons of loss. So yes, it might involve, or it can involve, okay, sacrificing something, especially if it doesn't serve us anymore. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So thank you, Swenja. Yeah.
Jaslyn has a question here. Hi, Jessie Kong Yu. Curious about the clash relationship of my hour and day pillar. Monkey at hour and tiger at day, been meaning to ask for a while now.
Okay. All right. So now you see, when you decipher a party chart, okay, there are many layers that you can decipher, okay, right? Of course, the general layer is deciphered from the palace, okay? So the palace of between the day, okay, and also the hour, okay, can represent, in a way, the day can represent your comfort of home, all right, your spouse, your marriage, okay, right? It can be your physical body, okay, so that is a day related. It can be also in a way as in like, a deep, I would say, our deep emotions, okay, whatever that we feel right within us, that is the day. Now, the hour itself can represent our output, our hobby, our passion, our children, something under our care. It can be our investments, okay, it can be our desire. That is the hour. So now you have a clash there. So the first layer, then we siphon out as in like this clash could be, okay, when one of this particular palace is activated, okay, a clash means, right, it's possibility, most of the clash is a win-lose situation, okay, right, there are some clashes which is a win-win, but most of the clash is a win-lose. So example, if this clash is activated between the day and the hour, what is winning and what is losing, okay, and of course in detail, right, if you go to our party mastery, okay, you will learn, okay, that every clash itself, it can be a monkey-tiger clash, but under different circumstances, under different years, different scenario, different time itself, when the clash takes in, it will represent different winner. Okay, sometimes even though generally we say that the monkey wins over the tiger, because it's like the monkey is a metal and the tiger is a wood, okay, so metal chops wood, generally, it's a monkey wins, but not all the time. Okay, so that's when we go into the second layer of deciphering the clash. So you have to see, okay, which element is more supported. Example, you can say the monkey is your axe and the tiger is your wood or your big tree. But imagine now you have like a huge big tree like a jack and a beanstalk tree, okay? And then your axe is like a small little tiny rusty, okay, or like a blunt axe, okay? If that's the case, you can chop until the cows comes home and that tree will not even be affected by it. In this case itself, it is hurting the monkey or the metal element more than the tree, okay? But in other way rounds, you can swap the scenario. It really takes a look into like the overall, okay, subject of your chart. It could be like this tree now is already like just a small tiny tree and your axe is like super solid, super sharp, made out of the most solid material that you can find on earth, okay? Or it could be like the Thor's axe, okay, example. If that's the case itself, right, of course, the monkey wins over the tiger. So whatever wins at the end of the day, you just need to see, okay, what is the representations of the 10 gods, of this wood and also of the metal in the monkey. That's a deeper layer. And then you can say generally on the external form itself, right, for someone probably spouse palace is your day pillar, okay? For spouse palace activated, you might lose, in a way what? You might lose your desire, your passion, right? Your hobby, okay? Because that's your hour pillar. So for some people, let's say we see a clash like that, then we remind them, okay? Remember, when it comes to relationship, okay, always remember, once you get yourself into a serious relationship, you have to remind yourself to not forget about your own passion, about your own desire, about your own hobby, or the thing that you would like to live on as a legacy to call your own, all right? So those are the things that can also represent by this clash, right? Or if the other way around is the hour clashing your day, then you can say that once you have your children, or you can say that your passion or your desire is always getting into the way between you and your husband or in the relationship. So it is like always a different perspective to look into it, okay? So exactly what it is, then you have to look into your chart, which is favorable, which is not favorable, which is weaker, and which is stronger. So this clash is taking out what elements that's going on in your chart itself. All right?
Right. And because if you just joined us, we are doing a Q&A today, right? On all things metaphysics. And just a reminder that if you want your question to be answered, please type it in now. Because, you know, look at the time and also where the questioning is at the moment, we don't have that much time to answer that many more questions. So if you put it in after a certain time, then it will most likely go unanswered.
The
so
chances looking at this also, we might not have the time because you see, to me, it's...
Yes.
Yeah.
The couple here,
because
right?
to me, it's like, it's either I don't answer at all, or if I answer, you know, like that's how I teach, and my students know this, okay? I would just go as much as possible, as deep as possible to answer your questions.
Okay,
I mean,
because there are
but
a couple
you just,
here.
yeah, you just continue on to give in your questions. If we couldn't, in a way, handle it today, then we'll just probably have another Q&A sessions, okay, to continue on with the questions.
Correct. Okay,
right.
but for now, you have a couple more there.
Yeah, Grace here says that, okay, Jassi Sifu, okay, please advise approaches to best manage dragon, April, given self-punishment between 24 dragon and day master dragon. Thank you. All right. So you want to take this first?
Okay.
All right.
I guess
so,
a little bit of a preview, right? I guess this is the one portion of what I'll be talking about in my Manifest Your Life 2024. I think Grace is also signed up for that, right? And essentially, it's basically managing the depth of the self-punishment, because when you can manage, or you can take control, shall we say, right? Totally maximize the power of the dragon, right? And assuming you have one Grace, and then now another one shows up in the year, right? So this is where you have an opportunity to self-punish, but with this self-punishment as well, it's an opportunity to go really deep. And when you can do that, you can harness the energy of the dragon. So it will be the Wu Earth in it, right? And then of course the Kuei Water and also the Yi Wood in totality, which is all very... how should I say, it's like secret ingredients or ingredients of growth. Right? Why I use the word secret is because they're embedded in the shell of the earth itself, right? But they're there for you to use, yeah? So that's why it's really an opportunity to see what leads to it. So see what leads to it this month. Because you have the harm of the rabbit, and then will lead to the self-punishment of the double dragons. So you will start to see already, and as the month progresses even further, what this will allude to, right? So that will help you match it to practical terms, right, Grace? And then see what then you can do to overturn it come April, because April is a month of double dragon. So we are also seeing signs of it, just to share in general as well, that it's a very powerful month for personal energy alignment. Right? to use the month, okay, to basically work on upping our energy. Right, so of course tapping into the normal energy that we understand from managing ourselves in astrology to feng shui, right, and to most importantly what we've been really preaching and talking about, personal inner work, right? So you use that the double dragon self-punishing aspect to look really deep into personal inner work and personal understanding of what needs to be changed based on what is already leading you up to that month itself. Because without your entire chart and without having to go into the entire chart, this is the level, or this is the layers of the information that we can use to maximize it.
Yeah. Right. So generally for me, because I have a lot of self-punishment in my chart, okay, I have 2 dragons in my chart, and this year, of course, is a dragon year, and of course, coming into April, there's another dragon. So for me, it's like, in a way, self-punishment means that punish ourselves first before something else comes and punishes us. Now, example myself, I knew it, I know it, because it's like I'm stubborn in a way that, okay, right, and I enjoy food, right, and I enjoy all the, what we call, they call it's not the luxury of the food, but it's like all sorts of, I would say, in general term, people say it's an unhealthy lah, okay, and I love it, okay. So overall itself, I know that when April comes, okay, right, or just slightly before April comes, I better try to self-punish myself, okay, refrain myself so much into enjoying all these things, okay, and building up more like shit within myself, okay, because if not, that particular month comes itself, then the chances of like self-suffering as a result of that might occur, okay, or it will occur, okay. So for me, it's like, let's say for instance, right, for people who are thinking about health, okay, for self-punishment, so it can be in a way implementing more discipline, okay, refraining ourselves for certain things, right, more working out, example, okay, more meditation to balance up the stress, okay, anything that balances us mentally, emotionally, and physically, right, as well for that particular month itself, especially for the self-punishment year month to come in, okay, we implement it before it comes after us. That could be one of the example. Alright, so a self-punishing month itself, example, if you look into a wealth perspective, okay, right, because you see, even the name as self-punishment sounds like scary, but every element has its favorable or unfavorable content, okay, so if your chart, it could be a self-punishment, but if it's a favorable thing for you, then try to plan something that is self-punishing and yet it is favorable, okay, like for me, you know that almost every month we travels. Now, there's been a long time that you will see in our calendar that over the few months, okay, ever since Chinese New Year, up to April, there's no plan of traveling, okay, right, as in like really traveling, okay, in our schedule. It's almost like impossible. You ask like Kong Yu, it has been like our way, okay, of like living, as in like every month we are flying somewhere. Okay, but up to April itself, we do not have any specific travel. Okay, the upcoming one will be in May, after the self-punishing month. All right, so if all the self-punishing month and we are rushing a lot of contents, informations, a lot of detailing works and other things, okay, all the way scheduled up to April. This is self-punishing, you know, right? To me, it's a great deal, okay, where you can't travel and you have to work, right, to squeeze all this content so much, okay, right, okay, to prepare yourself so that by May comes, we will hardly see us in KL. Yeah, okay, and that goes for the rest of the months that's coming up.
I think this is the example of proactively working in the self-punishment, because we realized it even as late as last quarter of 2023, right? So we were like, okay, what are we leading up to? And of course, with the self-punishment opportunities, shall we say, right, between Jesse Jolston and my combination to it. Yeah. It's very interesting, right? Remind me to share more during the workshop, right? So it is really, you know, you can see it building up and then you realize that, okay, we're working towards that way, but why not just maximize it? Yeah. Right? Especially when you can also work with it and create results with it.
Exactly. Is it comfortable? Like, you know, the most I can travel is like to the mountains here. It's very unlike my schedule, okay? But that is self-punishment, all right? So we work hard now so that when the time comes, then we can really, really like travels, okay? Right, every month from May onwards, you will see us everywhere else. Okay, so Vicky asks, if one has a funeral in day pillar, does it mean there could be loss of family member? Possibly. Okay, they could be possibly, okay, that leads to a potential loss of a family member. Yeah. All right, so here, okay, so here Jacqueline says, okay, yeah, hi Jessie and Kong Yu. May I kindly know roughly when is the second wave pre-order for the Atma Bowl series will be available for adoption? I'm curious about dynamic feng shui, but will need to prioritize my funds, okay, for the Atma Bowl if the pre-order is coming soon, okay? We are planning to collect the bowls, okay, only by next week, okay, and then after that, when we settle and send out all the bowls, the pre-order most probably will come somewhere in May. All right, it will come somewhere in May. But the thing is, okay, I think that, okay, instead of prioritizing your budget, I think you should be prioritizing your result. Okay, Jacqueline, what exactly do you want to see in your life? Okay, it's not that, oh, I have this as amount, all right, I just need to get something, okay, out of it. No, it's just like, you know, you reverse engineer and ask yourself, what exactly is my priority in life? Because getting an Atma Bowls and in a way signing up for a dynamic feng shui is a totally two different thing. All right? If Atma Bowl series is something to aid us, to help us, okay, to meditate, to go deep within ourselves, okay, to do in a way some like energy reconstruction, okay, within ourselves. Whereas the dynamic feng shui is creating opportunities, it's focusing on our career, our wealth, okay, or our business. It's totally two different things. So you have to prioritize what is your priority now. Is it your time for you in a way that you have reached probably some financial stability, okay, or some financial freedom, okay, that you want to call it? Then now it is time for you to really work in terms of your energy work, to work deeper into yourself, okay, and in a way of getting that particular crystal bowl to help you to work deeper into your spiritual level. Or if you have not yet, in a way, attained that financial security, right? You are, in a way, still have to like budget, okay? Like very clearly to put where this money to, put here better or put there better, okay? Because this is only the limited fund that you might have. Then I'll suggest you get into something that can transform you, that can, in a way, help you, okay, to, in a way, create more opportunities. Try to actually do some breakthroughs in your life and work towards that so that you have the opportunity to create more wealth for yourself first. So that you don't have to, in a way, budget as in, oh, should I go for this or should I go for that? Why can't I go for all? Okay? So I can understand, okay, why some people have this mentality as in like, oh, I can only go for this because this is expensive, okay? Because I have comments, okay, from people saying that, oh, this cost, oh, it's too expensive. I understand. Once upon a time, I say that as well. But now I try myself as much as possible and refrain myself from using that word of that is expensive because this is weakening our energy. Remember, things are never expensive. It's just that whether we can afford it or not. It's never of the things is expensive. I mean, you can say that a Hermes bag is expensive. It's crazy. Why would you pay so much for a bag? But to a lot of people, this is nothing. Okay, they're buying a Hermes bag is like us buying what? What bag is that? A Coach or what? A Bonia, okay, example. Right? So it's a level of energy. It's never about expensive or not. Okay? So it's just whether we want or we do not want. That's it. Right? Why is it so? Is like because awareness. We have to try ourselves. We are all humans, okay? In a way, but awareness will refrain us to say something that sucks the energy out of us, our power out of us. So when we say something, oh, that's too expensive. Oh no, this is like too much for me. Or oh no, this is I'm not ready for. I can't afford. It means that we are putting ourselves in a lower energy level, victimization. Okay, right? It might be in a way, right? I might not be ready for it now. Okay, but one day I will. It's not because of the price is expensive. It's just that my energy level is not up to par yet. But if I really want it, I will make it happen. Example. So we try to have the awareness to put ourselves into that extent, then we will transform ourselves. It will change because it's all in a way from the set of our belief and our mentality. And this is not, it applies to everyone. It's just something that somehow Jacqueline has bring it up. Then I want to share this out so that we are aware. You see, at the end of the day, metaphysics, energy works, or whatever you want to call it, it's all about awareness. the moment we have ultimate awareness as much as possible, okay, into everything that we do, we say, okay, or we react to, okay, that already puts us at a stage where we are constantly transforming ourselves. We are constantly breaking through ourselves, okay? And whatever that we are doing is just to bring that awareness level up. All right? Okay. All right, so where are we?
Here, right?
Okay. Oh yeah, here. Huey Dunk, okay, says that ox yin earth in the year, pig yin water in the month. Earthly branches. Been trying to find a better working environment, but no luck so far after numerous attempts, job interviews. Any hint if I should keep trying? The ox in the year is like pretty good animal sign. The pig, in other ways, is not that great. All right, in the month itself, okay, which is your career.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So overall,
Actually, it's pretty good as well.
is it pig?
It's a dragon virtue with emperor.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Have I forgotten? It's like the pig is.
Yes, it's the pig.
Was it last year? The pig is not good, is it?
Yeah,
Ah,
that was
okay.
in 2023.
2023.
The
Okay,
24 is one of the top, and actually both are quite top.
yeah, if it's like the ox
With
and the pig,
visiting
if like,
stars, that's- yeah.
okay. If like both is actually very good, been trying to find a better working environment, but no luck so far after numerous attempts, job interviews. Any hints that we should try? I mean, if both of the animal signs is like bringing in, okay, positive stars, then I would suggest why not? Okay, just continue to in a way try and let me see is exactly what are the stars there, right? Okay, you continue on first.
Yeah.
All right, and then let me see. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
I will find it.
Yeah, overall, if you just look into the two animal signs, they don't. They are part of a water frame combination. So
Well,
that-
in fact,
yeah,
the
something
pig
that
ranked
we
number
do-
one
Correct.
this
Yeah.
year. That was last year. It's like 11 out of 12.
Right,
Sorry,
right.
yes, I remember the last year one. So in a way, the pig this year itself, you have Emperor Star, Dragon Virtue, and Red Matchmaker. Okay, and then for else, the ox itself. Okay, the ox has
Fortune Virtue.
number 2. Okay, right ranking. So this is number 1 of 2. Heavenly
Prosperity
Virtue,
Star,
Fortune
yeah.
Virtue, Prosperity Star, Heavenly Nobleman. Okay. So in a way, do try to put in more effort, okay, looking for connections, looking for people recommendations, right? Because you have all these powerful stars, they're supposed to, in a way, be able to help you, okay, to secure, all right, a better options in terms of your work, okay? So I wouldn't say giving up is a good options here, okay, because looking at the stars itself, it's all pretty good stars.
That's right, right.
Okay?
I guess the additional thing to take into account is that the level of, this is something that you have to ask yourself, and also something that if you want to get a neutral assessment, right, from people around you, they would probably be able to help. Because, you know, normally when we ask ourselves, sometimes we can be a bit quite biased,
Yeah.
right? Depends on the situation, right? So the matching of the expertise, right, because that's what Dragon Virtue with the Emperor Star in Pig especially, right, denotes, right? So it will enhance a lot of the heightening of, for example, reputation, right? People know a certain person as being very skillful, right, being very professional and being a good problem solver, right? So when you have that renown, then of course, it matches the stars which are in the Pig Palace, and you have, of course, a superb chance, a very high chance, of course, of people being able to see it, acknowledge it, and of course, for a new job, that would be something that's very important.
Yeah, and also remember, okay, all the stars, be they good or bad, auspicious or inauspicious, at the end of the day, all right, we need to be ready to it for it, all right. And I like the fact here because, like Jacqueline says, oh, thank you so much, okay, Sifu. I'm limiting my belief, okay, all right. Thank you for that as well. I mean, it's also a very important thing for us to always remember, okay. One of our greatest setback is always our belief, okay? Because everything, energy, all starts from the mind, all right? Energy starts from the mind, and then after that, it creates emotion. Therefore, okay, emotions are just energy in motion. And in order for us to have this energy in motions, it all in a way starts from our visualizations in the mind. It's something that we see or we believe it as it is, all right? So no matter what animal signs you have, even though you have the best one, number 1 or number 2, but as long as we are not aware, okay, to work on our limiting beliefs, this energy cannot take place. All right, it cannot prosper, okay? So imagine that it's like in a way that we have all the best stars, okay, that's supposed to be shining upon us, but we still have this limiting belief to believe that we are not good enough, we are not ready for it. And I've seen numerous clients are in a way contemplating and doubting, okay, to actually in a way like accept, okay, the offers that's given to them. Example is that they get a promotions, they get a new project or a new job scope that their bosses thinks that they are suitable for it. they are filled with doubts. They are afraid. They want to, in a way, stay status quo of whatever they have been doing all this while, instead of, in a way, accepting this new challenge or this new offer that comes to them. Right? If that's the case, it means that we have this self-limiting energy within us. So if you have that, okay, no matter how great is the animal sign, at the end of the day, we might not be able to harness out of it. All right? Okay. So, yeah. So any questions from your
We're
side?
pretty much
No?
there. Of course, a quick hello to Andrew.
Yeah.
Right, Joanna Paulo Ria, right, who joined us as well.
Yeah. Oh, just now I saw, I think, Ice here says
Ice.
hello as
Hi,
well.
Ice.
Okay. Hi, Ice. Margaret Fong as well.
Right.
Margaret. Okay.
And
Peggy is there.
Julian
Helen Mock
was
is
here
there as well.
at some earlier point. Hopefully, you're still tuning in.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I think our Q&A sessions again needs to stop now because we have not had our dinner. But the thing I always say is the best thing here is like I'm talking to Leanna. She knows where we are now. Okay. The best thing here is like in a way we can get dinner anytime. So we are planning our dinner today. Probably will be like past midnight.
Yeah. And I don't know whether you could hear, but there's been a lot of participation from the insect world outside.
The nature.
Today they're very active.
Yeah.
It's very interesting as well because there are all sorts of insects, right? Cicadas, moths, and the whole range, which we don't get to see in KL.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's very interesting, and they make different noises and all that. So, wow.
We have a full orchestra.
That's right. Going on at different times with different sounds, especially tonight. So maybe it's the super bright spotlights.
They are trying to, in a way, bash in our window behind here. Okay, so basically, there's just a few things, okay, we would like to share with you. Okay, this coming Friday night, we have this online session, right? Those of you who are interested, okay, to work deeper within yourself, right, spiritually, energetically, this Friday is a very good day, as we've talked about it again and again. It's a Heavenly Pardon Day, the first out of 6 in the whole entire year. It's also what we call the Chun Se Yet, which is very good for manifestations and prayers for abundance, all right? So, okay, wherever you are, do join us this Friday, okay? It's like 8 p.m. up to 10 p.m. GMT plus 8. There will be replay sent to you, all right, where we will be also working on this experiential workshop with all of you, doing some breath work, guided meditations, and also there's some theory part for us to understand, okay, in a way, I see like how our brain works. Because remember, firstly, we have to gao dim this part first, okay? It's like how sometimes we ourselves, okay, are limiting ourselves from abundance, all right? So if this calls to you, I really suggest that you can join us. It's only 80 ringgit, okay, for this Friday, or our online workshop via Zoom. Now, if not, you can also join us in our next workshop, which is upcoming Dynamic Feng Shui, okay? So the Dynamic Feng Shui, we have a special price which is ending by 12 midnight tonight.
2 hours from now.
So if this calls to you, okay, so you can join us for this 3 days course, okay, of Dynamic Feng Shui, where we are focusing, guiding everyone and teaching everyone from scratch. Zero knowledge required, but focusing on landform. So if you have always been, in a way, curious about Feng Shui, the period 9, how to select property, how to, in a way, select a place where you can deploy 7-star robbery, how to capture the chi, right? Where we travels all the time, and whenever we travels, the first thing I will look for, I was just telling him, okay, we'll be in Japan, okay, in May. So the first thing is I was telling him, okay, because it's a family trip, I was just telling him that it's like there might be some days in Tokyo itself, right, where I might excuse myself, okay, to look for a location where we can deploy the 7-star robbery, right? Because there are certain countries, like example, last year we have talked about this, like Tokyo is definitely one of it, Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, okay, Singapore, you can also deploy, okay, the 7-star robbery, Hong Kong, definitely you can deploy, Bangkok, okay, these are the places with high bustling energy, all right? That is where the location, if you can find a location and you know how to find it in period 9 and how to rob the chi over this particular areas itself, is the best time for us to do it, okay?
Yeah,
so if you have not signed up, I think we have pretty much a lot of people sign up.
Yes.
I don't know exactly. Last year we have 100 over. This year I think we have like slightly more, okay? So if you have not signed up for Dynamic Feng Shui, okay, there's still time for you to, in a way, make the best out of this price, early bird price, which ends 12 midnight tonight.
Right.
All right, if not, you can still join Gong Yu.
Yeah, no, I was about to say that's going to be an exciting course, right? And the side project that we'll be embarking on in Tokyo will be very exciting also.
Yeah, okay, and Dynamic Feng Shui is all about, in a way, everyone will be going on live, okay, during the class itself, okay, to explore different landform. How to look for landform, looking at the rivers, the formations of the mountains, okay, and we look at Google Earth, okay, to see major cities in the world, okay, right, major cities prioritize onto the students' location. All right, so we have Bangkok last year, we have Manila, we have like Canada, US, we have
Italy.
Jakarta, Italy,
Yeah.
we have, of course, KL, Singapore. All right, so we look at every different locations, okay, right? We look at Hong Kong as well last year as well, okay? So we will look at all these major cities, identify where this prosperous chi is, how to tap into this particular location as well, okay? So if this is something that calls for you, highly recommends you to join us, okay, for this weekend Dynamic Feng Shui.
That's right.
Right, if not, join Gong Yu.
Yes, Manifest Your Life 2024 is happening next Sunday, right? So if you would like an alternative viewpoint, you want to hack astrology primarily, Feng Shui secondarily, and then third, of course, is harnessing our own self-empowerment, right? If you like to hack all of these areas, which are traditional areas of Chinese metaphysics, right? How you combine heaven, earth, and man luck together to maximize chances of success, and best of all, to work with the energy of the year, right? What the year brings in, what the Wood Dragon of 2024 brings in, especially, you know, having the potential and the power, right? That is of the energy that's deep inside, buried into the dragon. Right? So we're going to hack that, and then of course we're going to use it not just for manifestation per se in general, but in working with the annual energy so that we can maximize what this year has in store, and then also by doing that, maximize the first year of period 9, which is this year 2024 itself. Yeah, so do join me right next Sunday for this. If you have not already signed up, this is something that you can consider as well.
Yeah. Okay. And of course, we also have, okay, another workshop, okay, which will be in a way championed by Joston. All right. So Joston will be holding this workshop, sales for non-sales people. Right. Of course, when he work on the workshop and all that, okay, I highly encourage, because we look at what are the things important, okay, in a way, and then to share, okay, those particular workshop out. Of course, for Gong Yu, it's Manifest Your Life in 2024. Okay. He worked very hard for it. Okay. In fact, right, whenever he has a workshop upcoming, right, I always feel that I hardly have him with me, because he's physically here, but he's mentally away. Right? Because it's so into, I can totally understand that, because that happens to me whenever I'm doing my work as well. So same, similar. Okay,
Yeah.
sama. So the next one will be, of course, Joston's, okay, sales for non-sales people, okay, selling now at early bird price, 128, happening on the 30th of March, okay. This is a 2 to 5:30 program, okay, where this particular program is going to, in a way, share with you the importance of influence in period 9, all right? How every one of us needs to be equipped, okay, with this ability to sell, to influence, okay, to transform other people's mindset, okay. So those of you who have not signed up, okay, for this particular workshop itself, I highly recommend you to join Joston, okay, on the 30th of March, okay, for this sales for non-sales people. And of course, on a side note, okay, for those of you who has purchased your Atma bowls, okay, yep, I know it has been a long wait, right? There are some bowls which is still on the way. Most of the bowls are here, okay, and those of you who bought the Venom bowl, okay, we have rejected, okay, the bowls when it arrived, because we do QC into every one of the bowls. It's not so much about how it looks, it's about the sound quality, all right? So we rejected the 3 Venom bowls, okay, for those of you who have bought those Venom bowls, okay, and now the second batch, okay, in a way are in the process of making and will be here very soon, and the collection date, physical collection date for the bowls itself is on the 23rd of March, next Saturday. All right, so highly recommends those of you, if you can make it physically, come to our studio and collect your bowl, because I'll be sharing with you also, okay, right, at least some simple techniques of how to use the bowl. All right, for those of you who are overseas, okay, or you can't make it personally to collect the bowl, don't worry. We will record the sessions, okay, and we will make it available for all of you via online Zoom as well. As in, like, in a way, we'll share the recordings to you as well, so that you won't miss out, okay, of the whole entire session. Okay, so pretty much that's it.
Yep.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you,
okay, to all of
everyone.
you. Thank you, Grace. Thank
Yes,
you, Peggy.
yes.
All joined. Okay, Helen also in a way sign up. All right, thank you so much to all of you. All right, and I think just now Leanne was saying roti canai pantang gula garing. Okay, tonight no, I'm aiming for either a seafood porridge or a sanghao wat tan hao.
We're aiming a little higher, right?
We are going higher.
Not the top, but higher than where we are.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much to all of you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for always being here energetically. Okay, for us. Okay, and thank you for sharing this Facebook Live out as well. Okay, so till our next Facebook Live. Bye bye.
Bye.
See you. Good night.
Bye. Good night.